best costume, best splash, best skim. Those are the prizes that they're giving out
But
today.
this place, like I said, is steeped in history right here on Main Street.
4 unique finds, have a personalized shopping experience.
That is an event in the 4 county areas of the Pocono Mountains.
Okay, I'm going to go first. Hi, everyone. Deanna Fontanez here, and
Chris Barrett from the Pocono Television Network. We're happy that you're with us.
we are here live from the new Newsquehoning train station. Sorry, guys, it's early in the morning.
It is.
Behind us is the famed T1 steam locomotive 2102. This is one of 2 of the rides this year for the 2024 Iron Horse Rambles excursions. It's going to be taking off pretty soon, so we're going to take a look at it.
And you know, we had the occasion to speak with the folks who operate this train, and it's just an amazing story. We're going to get into that a little bit. We saw it earlier on Friday while it was in Port Clinton, and this is amazing for the Poconos. It's amazing for Newsquehoning, and we're just so happy to be here today.
Yeah, so we're going to have a little interview first, and then we're going to take a look at this train.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Thanks. So I'm going to call in Matt Fisher. So Matt is the man that does everything here, right?
Yes. That's right.
That's right. We're so happy to have him here today, and I just really want to talk about with you, Matt, what this means for, first of all, the railroading community, and then the community that we're standing in right now.
Sure, for the railroad community, this is the biggest steam locomotive basically east of the Mississippi. The Union Pacific Railroad, the biggest railroad in the country, has a steam locomotive a little bit bigger than this one. But even that railroad, they don't sell tickets to the general public. On this trip, there's over 700 some people on this train alone, an all-day trip. The Reading and Northern Railroad is very friendly to the general public. We did over 320,000 riders last year between the Reading and Northern Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railway. And we have all kinds of unique trips where people are coming far and wide across the country, and people even from Great Britain and Western Europe come to ride these trains. It's a big deal. And for Newsquehoning, it really is, as any community, Jim Thorpe or Pottsville or Pittston or Reading, it's very important because a lot of people in this area are employed here. A lot of people that ride the train will go and frequent other businesses in the area. But there's almost 80 employees in the passenger department alone, about 350 on the railroad in total. And a lot of the employees that we have in the passenger department, they actually moved to this area because they enjoyed this area so much when they came and visited from a place like Philadelphia or New York City. So it's big for the area for sure.
This is just an amazing shot in the armor. We saw that in Jim Thorpe. So we're in Carbon County right now, and it's great for the area, but what does it mean for people who love railroad?
It's just so important that we preserve history, and also that they get to go out and spend the day, family-friendly fare, something that they can do with loved ones, relatives. We give a thank you letter to everybody on the train, signed by the owner of the railroad, Andy Muller Jr., and myself, thanking the people for showing up, but also saying a lot of these people remember when this ran for the Reading Rambles back in the late 50s and early 1960s. A lot of those people took it, and some people didn't see it. This was out of service since the early 90s, and they didn't see it until it was back in service 3 years ago, and now they get to make those types of memories the people did so many years ago.
So when's the last time that Newsquehoning saw steam?
Last time around probably the World War II era, so it's that long ago. The station now is where the former Rev KME location was. That's where we're boarding the trains. The original Newsquehoning station was about 2 or 3 blocks towards Jim Thorpe.
So Matt, we had occasion to speak with Andy and you on Friday. It was it was amazing, and that's going to be coming up on Pocono Perspectives. But Matt has to get on the train. He's got a train to catch, right?
I do have a train to catch, and a fun-filled day in Tunkhannock for their Founders Day today.
So Matt, thanks so much for being with us. We really appreciate you taking the time this morning before this really important event in Newsquehoning. So thank you, Matt, so much. And I think
Thank you so much, Matt.
I think Deanna's coming back in. We have another guest that's going to talk a little bit more about the history of what's happening here with the Reading and Northern. So I'm going to let these guys take over. Jamie, come on in.
I have Jamie here. Jamie, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome, my pleasure.
So tell us a little bit about the steam locomotive and the history behind it and how this all kind of started.
So 2102 was one of several T1 locomotives built in the Reading shops in Reading, Pennsylvania. It's a 484 wheel configuration. It's one of the largest, in fact it is the largest remaining operating steam locomotive on the East Coast, but it was originally built to haul coal trains in the anthracite mining region, which we still service today. However, in the 60s and 70s, it was taken out of freight service because that was now being handled by diesels, and it was put into passenger service with the original Iron Horse Rambles with the Reading Company. And then our railroad ran it up to 1991, and then it was put in long-term storage, as Matt mentioned. We did an extensive restoration process. It took about 6 years and $2.4 million before we put her back in service in 2022. This is her third season, delighting passengers. Now, we have run her pretty much just from Reading to Jim Thorpe and back, except for one other occasion. Today is the first day that we are not only taking passengers out of our beautiful new Newsquehoning Regional Railroad Station, but the first time we'll be taking this locomotive north of Jim Thorpe since her restoration. And it is going to be an absolutely amazing trip today. We're going to go through the entirety of Lehigh Gorge, all 25 miles up to Whitehaven. You get beautiful views of the Lehigh River, the mountains, the biking and hiking trail. And then we begin a climb up Mount Penobscot. It is some very rugged, isolated mountain territory. We'll stop for water in Penobscot, and then you get some great views as we crest the mountain at Solomon's Gap. You can look out to the west and probably see 60 or 70 miles from the peak of the mountain. From there, we'll descend into Pittston. We'll go through some neighborhoods, and then we're going to be going what's considered rare mileage from Pittston up to Tunkhannock for the Founders Day Festival, and we'll be paralleling the river up there, and it'll be some great views. You get to see a lot of history through the old rail yard. There's an old roundhouse in the rail yard, and it's going to be a fantastic day for everybody.
So this is one of 2 excursions this year for the 2024 Iron Horse Rambles.
Correct. It's actually one of 2 out of this location. We ran out of Reading last month. Now this train is sold out. We have 700 passengers on board, but we've got plenty of tickets for the August 17th Iron Horse Ramble, which will also leave from Newsquehoning. That trip is going to go up to Pittston for the Tomato Festival, which is a really big event up in Pittston every year, and that will also be behind 2102.
So we're showing a graphic now with a QR code. Definitely scan it. Go on the website. There's tickets available, so you want to get on that train. And there's other tickets available for other excursions, correct?
There certainly are. We're going to be running other excursions out of this station. In fact, we'll be running a diesel trip up to Tunkhannock, 2 of them, July 27th and September 7th. And then if you miss riding behind 2102 on August 17th up to Pittston, we are also going to take our diesel F units, that's our streamlined passenger diesels from the 1950s, up there on August 18th. That will be a doubleheader weekend. And then in the late summer, stay tuned because we announce our very popular fall foliage trips. We haven't planned those yet, but we will be announcing them.
So keep an eye out is basically what you're...
A lot of those are run with 2102 in the lead.
Oh, I love that. So I love the history behind 2102 and the excitement that I was watching people board and people walking by and telling me that how much they love the trains and how much they love the history behind 2102.
Yep. Well, there's a lot of nostalgia here. I mean, for some of us, we're second, even third generation rail fans. My father used to ride and chase 2102 back during the 1960s and 1970s rambles. So for a lot of people, it evokes the nostalgia of yesteryear, and people come on board. I love to see families bringing their kids and saying your father, your grandfather worked for the railroad or rode this train. It's a very good family activity, and the love of railroading really tends to get passed down from generation to generation.
I love that. So this isn't just a typical rail ride. This is history attached to it.
History. And there's not many times you get to say that. And then every car that we have on the train today, they have all been fully restored by our paint department. But each one of those has its own history. A lot of the cars on there are from the original Reading Company. They were commuter cars used in the they were built in 1931 by Bethlehem Steel. They ran down in Philadelphia. They were later SEPTA. They're now ours. And then there are the first-class cars with other histories as well.
Wow, That's amazing.
I didn't want to interrupt, but I was just told to say a whistle's going to blow in a few seconds.
Okay.
So I don't want you guys to be like shocked, but it's a cool thing.
Well, I do know that you want to get back on the train, so I will let you go. Thank you so much for giving us a little bit of a history behind it.
You're very welcome. It's my pleasure.
Anything else you want to tell our viewers besides get on the train on August 17th?
Get on the train on August 17th and every other chance you get, guys. It's one thing to watch it on TV, but to experience the sights, the sounds, the smells, you can even feel it running sometimes. It's just amazing. Bring your kids, bring your whole family, and enjoy your ride. We hope to see you on board.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. Have a good time. We're going to close it out and watch you guys leave.
Sounds good.
Jamie, I love you.
Thank you for having me.
I love Jamie. She's so awesome because she knows everything that's going on. But when you heard Jamie say you want to feel it, so if you see it, which is really great,
Yes.
you know, we're looking at it right now. The thing of it is when you first see this train, it's so unbelievably impressive because first of all, and Jamie just said this, it's just been completely repainted. And one of the things when we toured the shops that we found out was that a lot of the parts have to be fabricated. There it is. Let's listen for a second.
So cool. That's amazing.
I think there are 5 more and then 2.
Well, you definitely
Tom's
feel
going
it.
to get a shot of that.
It's so great to watch history.
It is because to me, wow, I could just like watch that all day
I know,
long.
me too.
That's crazy. I love it. So we were talking a little bit about the care that's taken with restoring these, but also mechanically. And Jamie alluded to this a little bit. This is an art that's been handed down from generations
Yes.
of families. And there was a person who worked in the shop in Port Clinton that their family or somebody within their family had worked near or around this unit for over 50 years. And that kind of knowledge and engineering of this is handed down from family to family and person to person.
And you're seeing B-roll. They're seeing B-roll right now of the restoration, which is amazing.
Oh, that's great. So the and I know that Tom had got you guys that the key to that is a lot of the parts have to be manufactured because they're just not commercially available. But everything is done with an eye on safety. So when we spoke to the owner on Friday, we did an extended interview with the owner, Andy Muller, for Pocono Perspective. He talked to us about, and we're going to go back to the train again so you guys can see it. He talked a little bit about why railroading was important to him and how he had begun to build railroading back, this form of railroading in Pennsylvania. And it's very particular to our area in the Pocono Mountains. So right now we have 2 passenger rail lines. One is the Sturbridge line in the northern Poconos, and then of course this line in the southern Poconos. And it's interesting to note that both of these railroads are working freight railroads. So the Reading and Northern Railroad actually hauls anthracite. Anthracite is resurging in the production of steel making in some other areas. So it's a commodity that's becoming a little bit more important as time goes on. And it's interesting because when this engine was running on this line in Carbon County in Pennsylvania, coal was just as important to the war effort in World War II, the Korean War, and it heated homes all across the United States and all across the world. So when anthracite declined and the use for it wasn't there, the use for hauling anthracite wasn't there either. And that's where you saw a lot of these steam engines go away. However, some were preserved, like this one that you're seeing right now, the 2102, and it's now being run. So this is Tom's showing us that again. And one of the things I'm hoping to do is the train is leaving at 9 o'clock. And hopefully to end this shot somewhere around 9, we could just walk out of it and you can see it actually leave from the station because as Matt said, it's 8:59, so we have about 1 minute. As Matt had said, this is the first time that we've seen steam in Newsquehoning since World War II.
That's insane.
It is, and you know, this is a portion or this is a part of America's history right here. So you know what? I think we probably need to just step out of this shot. We'll come back in to close it, but let's see the star of the show.
It's amazing to watch kind of history happen in front of your eyes.
I know. I love these engineers too. They're just great.
Woo! Look at it go.
They're cool guys.
I kind of like watching it slowly go. The wheels moving, the mechanical.
It looks so. I mean, it looks brand new.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Watching the video of the restoration. You feel it like in your soul.
I know. That's what Jamie was saying. I think, right? That you can feel it. There's our engineers on 2102, and so I talked to we talked to Matt on Friday. I asked him how much coal was in that 26,000 tons of coal in that that hopper, that gondola. So now we're seeing this is a generator car. Now we're seeing the passenger cars following right here.
But it's crazy how it goes from carrying coal to like the passengers and the echoing in the mountains and just the feeling that you get riding a train that's history.
Right, and they did both. You know, I think for so long Tom's still on the car showing you all those, and these were actually rebuilt as well. These were actually rebuilt, as you can see them. And I think one thing that I love about this road, same thing about the Sturbridge line in the northern Poconos, is that these folks are very much into the quality of the service and the authenticity, as you can see when you look at these cars, the painting schemes, and you know, the brass, for instance, that Tom was just showing us there for the passenger cars. So it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And I know Tom, and then you're seeing now these cars, which are air conditioned and enclosed. The first cars that we saw were not air conditioned and enclosed. And these were all, at least the shells from working railroads all across the country. Some of them were in, you know, various states of disrepair before they were brought back here to Port Clinton and Carbon County and refurbished. And there actually, we did see a few more passenger cars yesterday that are being worked on that are just kind of amazing. And not only is it an amazing ride and a different experience, but as Deanna just said, it's just an amazing piece of history.
And don't forget, August 17th, there is one other ride. So if you missed today that was sold out, you have the opportunity. So get your tickets for August 17th. Also, we have some other live events coming up.
That's right. I mean, plenty of live events. I think there's a graphic on the screen right now.
July 12th and 13th, we have live events.
So the NASCAR event, which is the marquee NASCAR event in the country, is happening right here in the Pocono Mountains at Pocono Raceway on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, with the largest race happening on Sunday. That's the Great Pennsylvania Great American Getaway 400. And on Saturday is the Xfinity race, the Pocono Mountains 225, and of course there's races on Friday. Plenty of tickets available. Good seats are available for that race.
So you always want to meet us at the Tricky Triangle for NASCAR weekend. So it's July 12th through the 14th. Make sure you check our website, check their website for Pocono Raceway. And for other events, we have so many events going on every season in the Pocono Mountains. So go to poconomountains.com/events to see what's going on.
And you know, this week, just really quick before we go, this week we shot a lot of great footage. One was of the Swiftwater, which is a new property that
beautiful property,
isn't it? Just a beautiful property that just opened. You'll be seeing a lot coming on that on PTN very, very soon. We were also at Kalahari. We were in East Stroudsburg, celebrating our small towns. Our small towns are really, really amazing. Like we're in Jim Thorpe, Newsquehoning, Easton, Stroudsburg, Milford, all those Holly, Honesdale. Today are the boat races, dragon boat races.
Yes, at Lake Wallenpaupack.
Yeah, up on
My
Lake
favorite lake.
Wallenpaupack.
I'm heading up there later, so.
Okay, and the Wally Lake Fest is happening. And then also, too, don't forget all of our fairs, which are coming up all this summer. And you'll find all of that at poconomountains.com/events.
So thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you get on the next ride on August 17th. Make sure to check their website for all other rides they have, and maybe you get to experience a little history for yourself.
We really hope so, because it is a cool experience. But for everybody watching out there in PTN, everybody WDPN 2.8 Wilmington, Philadelphia, all of our cable systems, over-the-air streaming, wherever you are, this doesn't happen without you. Thanks for watching. I'm Chris Baird.
And I'm Deanna Fontanez.
For the Pocono Television Network.